Hello guys, and welcome. It is ThatSrb2DUDE here today, bringing you yet another Splatoon 2 video. Now today I wanted to go over the differences between the charges in Splatoon 2. Specifically the E-liter, the Splat charger, and the Goo Tuber. Now I'm going to be pretty much talking about everything about the weapons, or everything you kind of need to know about the statistics of these weapons. So at this point in time right now, I am holding the E-liter 3K scope. Now, I will be trying the scope variants, of course, in this video, and just comparing everything, just so you guys get an idea of the difference within range of these charges. Okay, so this right here is going to be the E-liter 3K scope's line. I'm gonna switch my weapon. I'm going to now use the scope charges line. Get a little bit of distance with it. That's the scope charger. Now I'm going to do the unscoped E-liter. Just gonna put it right there. Gonna do the unscoped Splat charger now. Put it right there. And somehow I'm gonna try and fit the Goo Tuber as well. I know, I think I made a little bit of a big line right, but you get the point. The Goo Tuber would end right here, just so you know. So, let's look at the differences between the range of these weapons. So, as you can see, the E-liter 4K beats every single weapon. You know, it's all the way at the very top, it gets to the furthest line, and it is very, very far in range. Let's compare the two E-liters together. This is the unscoped E-liters range, and this is the scoped E-liters range. It seems like there's like a 5% difference between the range, and this is pretty much what you would choose, this is pretty much what you would differentiate when picking unscoped E-liter or scoped E-liter. The scoped E-liter is going to come with a little bit more range, and the unscoped is going to come with less, but it's going to have that charge, or that held charge mechanic that all unscoped chargers now have. Now let's compare the scopes. The Splat charger scope. It's the same thing as well. The Splat charger scope is not too far off the unscoped E-liter, but it's just, you know, you use the Splat charger scope if you want to charge in faster and take out enemies that are, you know, pretty close and stuff like that. Also, one thing I would like to mention, which is pretty interesting, is that, you know, the Splat charger scope isn't actually too far off from the E-liter 4K. I mean, as you can see, it's just like, I mean, it's just one chunk, or it's like a whole, like, section. It's probably like 15% more range that you get with the Splat, with the E-liter 4K scope. And, you know, if you were to compare the Splat charges and the Splatter scope, it's pretty much the same with the E-liter. It's just a 5% increase in range, so. But I say one of the most interesting things is the Goo Tuber. Now, looking from the Direct, or Splatoon 2 Direct, when they showed this off, I felt like this charger was going to be like pretty much somewhat the same as the Splat charger. But as you can see, I mean, this is where the range kind of ends off with the Goo Tuber. But as you can see, comparing the regular Splat charger and the Goo Tuber, the Splat charger has much more range. It's probably like 20% more range. Or 50, I think no, 15% more range, or somewhere around there. I'm not giving exact percentages, but from what I see, it has a lot more range compared to the Goo Tuber. And the interesting thing as well is that the Goo Tuber's charge time is much slower than the Splat charger. I mean, I understand you hold the charge much longer just so you can hold this much for you can do the held charge mechanic for a much longer period of time. That's pretty much why it has less range and, you know, has that mechanic. But in my honest opinion, I don't even think it's worth it, because, you know, this is actually one of the longer. This like, it doesn't charge as slow as an E-liter, but it's not too far behind it. And the thing is that it doesn't even come with too much range, so it's a really tricky situation, or just it's a tricky weapon to get a grips of. And you're gonna really wonder, like, if you're gonna really capitalize on this charge and hold mechanic, you're gonna kind of want to use it excessively, because, you know, you're trading off a long time for actually charging in, compared to the Splatter scope, just to use this mechanic. So, but yeah, it's a really tricky weapon, and it's just a thing where you kind of just want to know if you're gonna be using the held charge mechanic, or not. Because if you don't, then you're just pretty much wasting your time actually charging for so long just to do the regular, you know, charging style. You might as well, you're better off using a Splat charger in all honesty, so... yeah, that's pretty much all the differences between the weapons, or between the charges. I mean, I don't really think there is anything else, besides from the charge time and besides from the range. This is pretty much all the differences that you really need to know about the Goo Tuber, the Splat charger, and the Elite 3K, or the Elite 4K, my mistake there. Now, I'm gonna say this straight up, there is no best charger, of course, because the Splat charger and the Splatoscope are used for quick charging and taking out enemies from mid-ranges. And the Elite 4K is used for taking out targets from a very long range. If you're not abusing the Elite 4K's range, then you might as well use a Splatoscope if you're going to be taking out enemies from close range, or closer ranges I should say. But the Elite 4K, you really want to just capitalize and use its range and use like how far it can actually shoot to your advantage. As for the Goo Tuber, it's basically between this, if you want to use the Splat charger, the regular Splat charger, or the, I mean, of course, the Goo Tuber. It really all depends if you're going to be using the held charge mechanic, and if you're not, you're better off just using a Splat charger. So, pretty much, that is all I got to say. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you understand the differences between these weapons, and why would you actually use them and all that type of stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much all for me. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please, if you did enjoy, please like, favorite, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch, both in the description below. Do it for both if you're feeling generous. And as always, guys, this has been ThatSrb2DUDE, and I shall see you guys in a future video.